this example, we're going to use two rectangles, two squares, and we're going to translate one of the rectangles, this green one, to the bottom right corner of our canvas. So I've pre-baked some code, and as normal, we've got our create canvas, our background, and we're calling no stroke because we don't want an outline on each rectangle. Let's first draw the first rectangle. So that would be rect. And we're going to position at 0, 0. It's going to be width over 2 and height over 2. And also, it is going to be filled red. So we're going to fill and 255, 0, 0. The second rectangle we're going to draw is the green one. So we're going to say fill 255. 0, 255, 0. And then the same exact thing we did before, a rect. And now you'll notice that both have the coordinates 0, 0. Using translate, we don't need to change our x and y position. We use that to translate our drawing origin. If I were to just save and refresh, you'd see a green rectangle overlaid on top of the red rectangle. Let's call translate, and we're going to translate it to width over 2, and then height over 2. Save that, refresh the page, and we've moved our second rectangle, the green one, to the bottom right corner of our canvas. In our second example, we're going to translate a yellow triangle to the position of our mouse. In the bottom left corner of the screen, we also can see the x and y coordinates of that triangle translation, separated by a colon. Let's take a look at the code. I've pre-baked some code here, and all we have is a call to triangle with the x and y coordinates of each vertex. If I were to refresh the page, notice that I don't see anything. Well, that's because our x-coordinate starts at -40, 0, and then goes to 40, 0. So it's drawing somewhere at the top of our canvas, maybe top left here. In order to translate that to our mouse position like we had in the original example, we need to call translate. Mouse x and mouse y. If I save that and refresh the page, you'll see that our triangle is now being translated to our mouse position. Now let's do some work to print the coordinates of our mouse x and mouse y in the bottom left of our screen. We're going to create a custom function called drawCoords, and it takes no arguments or parameters. And what we're going to do is we're going to call text, and we're going to say mouse x plus colon plus mouse y. Now you'll recall from a previous lesson that strings can be concatenated together using the plus sign. As long as you have one string, you can add that string with two numbers, like I have here, mouse x and mouse y are numbers, and then the total, when you add them all, it becomes a larger string. So it replaces mouse x with that value, and then it adds in a colon, and then it replaces the value of mouse y, all in a string. So we're going to position this at x-coordinate 20, and then we're going to say height minus 45. Just save that and refresh the page, and I don't see anything. Well, first of all, we haven't called drawCoords, so let's make sure that we invoke that function, save and refresh again. Somehow our coordinates are being translated as well. Well, that's because translate is translating the drawing origin, meaning every call after that call gets translated as well. One way we can isolate our translations is using the commands push and pop. So if we go back into our code and add a new line before translate and say push, and then after triangle we say pop, save that, refresh the page, and you'll notice that the numbers now are not being translated. So push and pop are like a sandwich. Everything that comes after pop will be back to the original drawing origin, which is in our top left. So that's a handy trick when using translate or rotate or scale for that matter to isolate your drawing coordinates.